To the stage just in a few minutes. At the beginning of the show today, I wanted just to take a few minutes and talk about myself, which I never do on here. So I thought that I would just take a few minutes to tell you some exciting news about Purpose for My Pain. So we had lost our location this year. The school shut down, Imagine Life Charter School, Imagine Life Science Charter School, which was the last school that DeAndre attended. And every year they so graciously allowed us to use their gym for the tournament. Well, it was terminated when the school closed. Nevertheless, we have been going back and forth with different schools on trying to come up with a location that would meet our needs. It was hard to find a location outside of a high school that would hold the amount of people that we have served the last 2 years. So I'm so excited to announce that Indiana Math Science Academy North on 79th and Keystone has partnered with us to host the 5-on-5 basketball tournament, Pray for Dre, Play for Dre. So now that we have a location set in stone, I'm so excited. We can now start signing up teams, taking sponsorships, getting our vendors set up, our entertainment set up. So we are ready to rock and roll. We did have to change our date a little bit with the location, but it will be March the 5th, March the 11th, 2017. Doors will open at 10 a.m. Then you guys know we always do a gun violence show, salute to survivors, and tip-off will be at noon. So I'm excited to announce that. And one more thing with Purpose for My Pain, we have also partnered with Brooks Place. Brooks Place is a not-for-profit organization that hosts a lot of therapeutic groups and one-on-one therapy sessions, and also camps for children who have lost loved ones, not just the gun violence, any type of loss, ages 3 to 20 years old. Well, we have partnered with them. They have received a grant to come into the inner city and open up some opportunities for those of us in our community. So if you're interested in signing your kids up to be in the groups, right, it's an 8-week program, and if you're interested, you can email me at purposeformypain@yahoo.com or find me on Facebook under DeAndre Yates. Also, we need facilitators as well. If you feel like you have a purpose to help children on their path of healing after losing a loved one, we would absolutely love to have you facilitate a group, and you can email me and find me on Facebook as well. So now that I got me out the way, we are doing Women in Business. I'm going to introduce my guest, and this morning as I was trying to figure out what I was going to wear, I was actually going to wear somebody else's shirt, and I said, no, you have your own business. So I'm sporting my Surviving Hands Medical Services t-shirt, which is my CPR business. Logo done by Gina Scott Hawkins, who's on Facebook. T-shirt printed up by Katrina McKinney, who is also on Facebook. Sorry, that's my timer to tell me to be quiet. Who is also on Facebook with Allure Design. So shout out to those women for hooking me up this morning. All right, I'm going to bring to the stage today my two beautiful, powerful, smart, and educated guests. We have Becky Cash Tucker, who is a naturopathic practitioner. I wanted to make sure I said that right. So welcome, Becky, to the stage. Thank you so much, Becky, for coming on this morning.
Thank you for inviting me.
No problem. And then we have Fashionista, as I called her on Facebook the other day. I hope that's accurate. I believe it is. Denisha Green, come on up.
Hello.
Hi, how are you this morning?
Good.
So good to see you. It's a funny story with me and Denisha that I have to tell. So she called me to work on another project that'll be coming up here in the city in a couple of weeks, and we just got to talking and trading stories, and I had sent her a flyer to my cousin Ashley.
Okay.
And she was like, "That's Denisha from Christ Church." I said, "No, not on the flyer. It's not." And so I text you and said, "Well, I know Denisha Green, and you're not her."
Right, no,
And she was like, "No, that is me." It was so funny. So I ended up knowing her. We used to go to Sunday school together.
Oh, wow.
And our grandmothers are really good
Really good
friends.
friends,
Yes,
yeah.
it's so funny. So I was like, "Wait a minute, you want to come on the show?" Because I knew what you did. So I'm like, "Wait a minute, I needed one more person." So that worked out. So I'm so glad to have you. And thank you for coming last minute.
Thank you.
To Positively You this morning. And my wonderful friend Becky here. Both of these women have great bios that I had planned on reading, and I probably will pull some things out of them. But I met Becky at the beginning of our journey with Dre, once he was released home to my care. A mutual friend of ours, Aliza Powell, suggested that I use some natural products for Dre's healing process. And at that time, I was a desperate mother. I actually still am. When it comes to just, trying different things to bring my son back in his awareness and alertness and things. And so I reached out to Becky, and she introduced me to Shackley's. Is that right?
Yep.
Shackley's products. I'm going to let her tell you a little bit more about Shackley's. But anyway, just being a distributor is one thing, but she has became a personal friend of mine. We encourage each other. We send like 20-page texts. We don't pick up the phone as often as we should, but we text all the time, just encouraging one another. So she has been a great asset into this healing journey of ours. So I'm just so excited to have you here this morning. Thank you so much. Denisha, I'm going to start with you, because being who you are in the city, you have a busy morning, so I know you can't stay with us the whole time.
I know.
Yes.
Sorry.
That's okay. I'm just glad that you made time for us, especially when you have a pop-up show. Is that what it's called today?
It's called a pop-up shop at Progressive Missionary Baptist Church. They have a holiday shopping bazaar today, and so they asked me to be a vendor.
Awesome. I'm actually vending too, so I'm going to have to run out of here when the show is over. Yeah, when we were texting, I'm like, wait a minute, I have a vendor. That's what, being in business, we have our minds are all over.
All over, I'm like,
yes, so my event is with Uplift today. They're doing a youth expo. I can't remember the church, I'm sorry right now, but I will get that while I'm on the air. But they're having a youth expo that I spoke at last year, and so this year I'm going to go back and be a vendor. But anyway, so tell us about, it's YIF, right?
Yes.
All right, so tell us tell us a little bit about it and what you do.
So YIF is basically an acronym. It stands for Yours in Fashion. So my styling company is called Yours in Fashion Styling Company. And I started distressing like denim like that I have on.
Which I love.
Thank you. Oh gosh, it's so weird that I've been doing this for like 16 years with the denim, but I never I was just kind of like I did it for show, like fashion shows, for friends, family. It was never like turned into a business until here later. But I started my styling company. It'll be 7 years in January, and so my website is yoursinfashion.com. And so basically, now it's just like it's booming. I was in a boutique called Profile Boutique up at Keystone at the Crossing with Chris's Ironworks. And since they've been transitioning, before that I was with La Histoire de Fayenne. I was in that boutique about 5 years ago. And so right now I'm just doing pretty much like pop-up shop, trunk shows, things like that until I figure out exactly what I want to do. I definitely need to launch my e-store on my website. So my e-store is not on my website.
Which I was searching for last night. I was like, I love distress.
So that's going to be a whole task within itself. So once I can get a chance to like sit down and like get that organized, and pretty much on my website you can pretty much see my work as a stylist, as a creative director. I do production for fashion.
Yeah, I was going to say, tell us about that, because when I was going through the website and I didn't see the e-store, I was like, okay, so...
Why is she sitting me here?
Yeah, so tell us what a consultant styler is. Yeah. Let us in on that.
So a fashion consultant is basically someone that you can consult in with various things fashion. And because I do so much, I just say fashion consultant.
Okay.
So I can do, like I'm doing the sickle cell organization. I'm doing their charity gala next year. I've done galas and fashion weeks. I do fashion editorial, I do production.
Wow.
So all these things, instead of me saying I'm this, it's just like consultant. So whatever you pretty much need in fashion, I can consult.
So you can be my consultant for the show. Like I need help with a wardrobe.
Absolutely. I'm still a wardrobe stylist and fashion consultant.
Yeah, because I saw that on the site. Okay, that's awesome. But other things that I saw on the site. Reading your bio.
Okay.
I was really impressed. Because it's not just about you. You're a humanitarian. You want to give back. You like to work in the community, do charitable events and things like that. So really, you have this purpose, which started back when you were in college at Fisk University, right?
Yes.
Okay. So tell us about when it clicked one day. Oh, this is what I want to do.
Which is weird because people keep asking me that, and I feel like it's like, oh man. I actually went to school to be in radio and television production, so I had no, like, fashion was not even, like, anywhere around it. It was like a hobby, like something I did in high school. I went to Broward, I was in the magnet program. I had no intentions of being in fashion, but like I said, I did it for fun. And when I went to college, it was still like, oh, okay, they have homecoming. It was a big deal in homecoming, the fashion show.
Yes.
So since I was doing it in high school, I was like, well, I'll just, I'll model or whatever. And then I was like, well, I want to be behind the scenes again. And so it just kind of gradually progressed. And then next thing you know, I was coordinating the show, and the provost and the president was like, you got to take this on the road. And all these people, like I met these people from Atlanta, and then my grandmother was like, no, you can't leave, you got to stay in school. So it's just like, okay, so that kind of like got pushed back down, and it was like, okay, radio, TV, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And so then when I came back to Indianapolis, I didn't even know it was a fashion scene here. I'd never heard of a fashion stylist. I didn't know that was a career. And so one thing I try to do now is, like, a lot of times people that I went to high school with or people that I've met that have students that don't know how to connect because they're like different, they're like artsy, and they like refer them to me to help with like interning. So I always tell people, if you have children or high school students and they're in the arts or they want to do something different, make sure you try to connect them with someone that you see, so that way I know that I would be further along in my career if I had like a mentor or somebody to reach out to. That's so I definitely do that. Wow. So yeah, it pretty much clicked to me. Like I said, about 7 years ago, my cousin was doing like a music video, and I saw the one he did before, and I was like, why don't you let me like get the models together? Yeah. And then I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, I got the models, I had hair and makeup, we had this whole big production, and they walked in like, wow, this is like a real, Wow. And then from there, I just started doing shows. I started networking, meeting people. So if you are wanting to start something and you really don't know, you have to network. You have to get out there, put yourself out there, and that's kind of evolved from that. And then from doing different things like that, people in the community like that'll have like my mind is going blank, but Elaine Moore, she has a program that she works with girls, and I've done her charity fashion show like twice. I've talked to her girls. I've talked to girls in like foster care.
Yeah, I saw in there how you work with young women who have in adoption agencies or something like that. Yeah. To help like consult them. I like how it was worded age appropriate styling. Yeah. Talk about that a little bit. Why is that important? The age appropriate styling.
Well, the thing is that nowadays. Well, I hate to say nowadays, but now
we're old girls. Say nowadays.
Yeah. I feel like everything is over sexualized. Yes. And I feel that young girls, especially if they're in, foster care, they don't have like they're in a weird place where they may feel insecure about a lot of things, not just yourself, because your family, your upbringing, your situation, your personal life can affect your psyche and the way you feel about yourself and the way you view yourself. And so people that are in the spotlight or on TV, you never know who you're influencing and who's looking at you. So when people have me come in, they want me to pretty much do workshops. I really don't advertise this a lot because it's like something very personal. I don't want to like put girls that are in that situation like, oh, I do this and I talk to these kids and all that kind of stuff. But basically, like, even with I can't think of the group, but as it comes to me, it's like when you're not in high school, let's say you get kicked out of high school, and it's like you're transitioning to college, it's like a big thing here. And they can go away, it's like work, jobs.
Job Corps.
Job Corps. Job Corps, I talk to Job Corps girls, things like that, about what's appropriate, starting with underwear and like what's appropriate to wear to school or job interviews, age appropriate things, how to groom yourself. So it goes from when you think of styling and fashion, it goes starting there. Yeah. And I tell my story to them, and I get personal, and they connect. So I do that.
It sounds like to me it's more than a hobby. It's like a ministry, a mission.
Well, not anymore. It's not a hobby anymore. Yeah. But I mean, that as far as like working and giving back to the community, it's just something I've always done. That, But now it's kind of like you see a lot of people wanting me to do that with younger girls. Yes.
And when I read that, it really stood out to me. I was like, we don't think about that. We think about the outside appearance. When you're working with these young women, do you talk with them about being beautiful inside and out?
Absolutely. Okay. I talk to them about, that's what I'm saying, about self-esteem and You know, you don't have to look a certain kind of way that you see like celebrities or these girls that they're idolizing. You know, you can be different. Everybody is diverse in their look because they really are hard on themselves. Yes. And whoever's like over the girl, the group, they'll tell you like, can you touch on this? And please talk about these different things. We're trying to like, and if you because you're the fashion person, if you come in and you say these things, that'll help, you know. And it's the truth, you know, it really is. So you definitely have to talk about self-esteem, personal hygiene, and just when you feel good and you understand, like, I can be beautiful and I don't have to be half naked. Especially not as a 15 and 14, you know, we have to definitely teach like age appropriate.
I mean, when I'm telling you, when I read it, it stood out to me because I think about working in the school system, I think about the stuff that I see.
Yeah.
And I told people, I wish that I could make videos so that you could really come into the world of the public school system.
Okay.
And not just the attitudes, but the way that, I mean, I'm like, when we were in like 7th or 8th grade, where we were in long 20-inch sew-ins and midriff shirts and wedges.
They look. I was talking about that the other day. That's another thing. It's not only, like if you're a mom, because I see it, and your 16-year-old looks 30, you know,
looks like a problem.
Yeah, because
more so
the thing is,
it's
like
older,
yes,
right?
Yeah, and I think even back in the day, I think always younger girls always want to look older. We always want to look older, look cute. But if you're a mom or an aunt or a big sister like myself, and you know, I've helped raise my younger sister that's 19 now. You have to be on them. You know, you can't look like an adult and expect your young ladies to go out into society and think men who have no idea of their age, if they present themselves a certain way, they're going to think that they're older. Not saying anything about, you know, touching them, but just if someone looks like they're an adult, that's who they're going to attract.
Exactly.
So you have to be aware of these things. So, you know, with the makeup and the long extensions and the you know, very tight clothes and sexy, revealing clothes, those things are going to make you appear to be much older than you are. And attract things that you don't want to attract. So if you're a mom or aunt, or you don't have to be, if you see a young lady and you're around them, so pull them to the side and talk to them and say, you know, we look at like, you know, Teen Vogue, like try to pull out different things that they're trying to do because they're just trying to be trendy and cute.
That's it.
And like right now, you know, vintage stuff, oversized things, you know, flats, combats, and all those things are popular.
Right.
So if they have
very age appropriate.
Yes, if they have great guidance, they can look so cute.
And I'm thinking about your jeans. So a rip in the knee for 10, 11-year-old is fine. You don't need to be ripped up your thigh and having your thigh out when you're going to middle school. I'm even going to say high school. I don't have daughters, so I am so glad that I don't have to deal with this.
Yeah.
But when I see the distressed look, which I absolutely love, and this whole flap is ripped off and your thigh is out and you're 14 years old, it's just too much. It's just too much. I am so glad that you even take that time out to say, you know what, I am a designer, I am a consultant, but on the flip side, you know, I just feel like whenever we're working in our purpose and our passion, it's so much not about us, but it's about every life that we're going to touch and the people that we're going to affect. So just leaving that a little bit, and then so many times people think, I don't have anything to give back. I really don't have anything to say. Oh, she designs clothes. She don't have like that. To me, when I read that, it stood out to me so much about your community involvement. And then I sent your bio to someone who is looking to put a fashion show together. So when I read over it, got a better understanding of what you did. I said she may be a good reference point for you. So I hope you don't mind that I did that. I told her I would tell you. I was like, I'll let her know about that. And I would like to talk to you off camera maybe about workshops and stuff as well.
Absolutely.
But I had another question. So let's talk about your denim line.
Okay.
So you don't have an e-store.
No.
If someone's watching and like, I need,
I know,
you know,
it's so
people
easy.
are like, I
It's
can
like,
cut
just go to such and such boutique and you can. But now it's just like you gotta catch me. I pretty much are posting online, like you know where my next pop-up shop is and things like that. So I know I need to. It's just like honestly, because I'm a one-woman show right now, it would be so much to try to like man the e-store, and like I'm like super busy right now, which is weird because usually the winter season will be like a slower time, but for some reason it's not. So Black Friday, I'm gonna pop up shop next week.
Are you doing the one? Is it at hotel?
Yes. The convention center.
The convention center. Yes. Okay.
So,
that's gonna be a really good.
Yeah. So I'm doing that, and then. Yeah, so right now, and then I have the Trailblazers Awards coming up, so I'm doing that, and so I just am like...
So are you going to have models in the Trailblazer? Are you going to have awards? Are you going to have your pop-up show? People can purchase things there?
Yeah, see, actually, no. The Trailblazers Awards is about different Trailblazers in Indianapolis. Right. From Indy or connected to Indy, like... Kathy Hughes, who started Radio 1, Mike Epps, Stephanie Sanders with the Moselle Sanders Foundation. Thanksgiving is next week. Some of the founders from the IBE, Barbara Boyd, people like that. But the fashion tribute is what they hired me to be over. So we actually are going to have models, yes. But we also we're going to use designers because I'm not a designer, I'm a stylist.
You're a stylist.
Who just dresses denim. But yes, we have actual designers like Bernie Martin, Nikki Blaine, and Derek Hill, and Mariah Jackson, Vivian Jackson, who are gonna have pieces in the show that I'm putting together.
So you're putting together the show.
Yes, that particular part, and then the VIP experience. We're gonna have some live models up there. It's gonna be really nice. We have some artists up there, like Tony Radford. He started Meet the Artist. That's through the Indianapolis Marion County Public Library. He started that 29 years ago. So we have some hairstylists and beauty people that's going to be up there. It's going to be really nice.
So people are going to come, and when they see that show put together, we're going to say this is the work of Denisha Green.
Yes, the fashion tribute.
Fashion tribute part, yes. We want to make sure we give you credit. Now, at the show, will you be selling any of your distressed items?
No.
Okay.
It's not a vending event.
Oh, okay.
Nothing about selling anything.
Okay, so
it's just a night for red carpet. Maybe you can come out, and bring your camera crew, and you can do some, maybe some footage on red carpet, maybe network. I mean, we can. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be it's gonna be a really nice event.
I plan to be there for for what me and you had already talked about. So,
absolutely. Yes. So that's a surprise.
I've been talking in depth about it, but I will be there to take part in that. I'm super excited about that. And as we get closer, I'll talk about not what we discussed, but just about the show and get people to come out. Okay, so how can we find, because I know you got to go, you got to get to a show. How can we find you on social media if we want to just send you an email and say, hey, now, so people bring their jeans to you to distress?
No.
Okay.
Well, yes and no.
Okay.
You can bring me denim, any kind of denim. If you have, like, some people like, one of Tasha Devine, she does the catwalk for the cure for breast cancer awareness.
Shout out to Tasha. It was super awesome.
It was very awesome. Second year I've been a vendor there. I was there.
Oh, I didn't see you. I was on the other side.
Probably was on the other side of you. There was so many people there. But she has this like denim jacket that she had that was like leather that she never wore, and she wanted me to distress it, and I distressed it. She loved it so much. And then people bring me certain items that they may want, but typically I just provide the denim for them.
So we send you our sizes and you provide the denim?
Absolutely. So like I have like where I'm going now, I'm going to set up. So it's just like I have like a table, I have my rack, so I have everything hung. I have jackets and dresses and shirts and jeans and skirts. I have kids stuff, baby stuff. I was going to, there was a boutique out on the, what do they call that area now? Everything has a name now. I can't think of it. It's on the southeast side. It's not
Fountain Square? Or
it's not Fountain Square. It's like above the Fountain Square. Anyway, I can't think of it. It's like everything has like an area now. It's like Robert this, that, whatever. Anyway, it was a boutique there, and so I was gonna put my stuff in there. So now I have all this fun kid stuff.
Oh, okay.
And so so I have kids stuff. But I've always done like some people that don't see me, they like want to do like kids pictures or something.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I have these little kids stuff. So
that's good.
So I do kids, I do men's, but typically the majority stuff that I carry is women's clothes.
Okay.
Women's and like young girls. Like juniors, basically junior sizes. So so you can find me on, my name is Denisha Green. It's DANISHA, Green with the E on the end. I'm on Facebook, but my website is www.yours, so that's YOURSIN fashion.com. And you can contact me on my website. It'll send me an email. You can email me, or I'm on Twitter and Instagram was Yours in Fashion, basically.
Yours in Fashion. It's hard to remember all those handles and all that.
Right, so I try to keep it consistent.
I say Facebook.
If you, I hate to tell people to Google it, but it'll come up Facebook or my website. Pretty much can get to me.
All right, that's awesome. Thank you so much
Thank you
for stopping by Positively You this morning so we can shine.
We're live on my Facebook. Part of Facebook.
I didn't have anybody here to do that for me today, so I'm glad. So can you send that to me later?
I will.
All right. So I'm super excited to have you here. Thank you so much for taking your time out. We're going to go ahead and take a break on Positively You, and when we come back, we're going to shine a light on Miss Becky Tucker Cash. All right.
This is what I'm made of, strong and courageous, fighting like Jacob. Give me this mountain, break it to a water fountain, blessings on the other side. Ride with no compromise, rise with the sunshine, glow like the rainbow. Watch the thunder crack the sky, hear God's heart cry, built like a palm tree, bending cause it's windy. Reason why I'm breathing, only grace and mercy survive the attack. Now I know He really loves me. Matter of fact, put no one above thee. Hug me, hold me, comfort me, console me. This anointing is so sanctifying. Outside listening to the birds singing, hearing voices echo, sounding so amazing. Conceived by glory, reigning in majesty. Lord of Lord, King of King, yes, He's my everything.
Everything is so beautiful to praise the Lord. Beautiful, yeah. It's so beautiful to praise the Lord.
Everything is spiritual, the Bible is edible. Words monumental, my prayers are effectual. I'm so grateful, this plate is palatable. Taste is residual, born again is beautiful. Walking epistle, eyes up an ego. Low at the train smoke, feel the tempo. Isaiah quoted, devoted to the people. Verbal principles, inexpressible. It's so wonderful, equal to ineffable. All that I go through, who else is reliable? Love undeniable, love unconditional, indescribable. Feelings are mutual, formed unbreakable, born unshakable. Rebuke the diabolical, devil it's impossible. Adorn as an admiral in general, perpetual, handle life eternal.
So beautiful to praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. It's so beautiful to praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Don't you ever leave. Don't you ever go. Please don't leave me. No. Don't you ever leave. Don't go. Don't leave. I'll never let you go.
Denisha, she had to rush out and do a pop-up show, so I'm really grateful for her taking that time to zoom in real quick. That's the life of a businesswoman. So now we have Miss Becky Tucker Cash. Is it okay to say all those names?
Yeah, that's how they find me.
I was gonna say that's how you find her on Facebook, so that's how I did it. She's not in my phone under all of that, but that's how you find her on Facebook. So as I had stated earlier, Becky has been with me through this amazing journey that me and Dre have been on, and the rest of my family. And I really wanted to take some time out to talk about what you do. In the midst of talking about what you do, you have 6 children.
I do.
A husband.
I do.
You have pets.
We have a cat and a guinea pig.
And they have a cat and a guinea pig.
And they're still alive.
Right.
So
They
that's
survived.
success. The kids too.
I was talking to her the other day, and she was out of breath because they were dancing on the Wii. So she is a very active, versatile, and busy mom. She was like, hold on, we're doing the Wii dance. I'll get back. So
I won't be demonstrating.
no, we won't. We'll do that on a different show.
Okay.
But she's very busy, and I admire Becky. I really do for all that she takes on, all that you do. You know, you had talked to me about sharing purpose for my pain to help you find yours. I'm like, are you kidding? You know what yours is. You know exactly. So tell us a little bit first about the naturopathic business before we get into the Shackley products.
Okay. All right. Well, it's a little bit hard to explain without going backwards, but I'll do that quickly because it's obviously a lot of years. But I do have 6 children, and long story short, my first 2 kids were sick all the time. My 3rd child ended up, well, she was my healthiest baby, and then she ended up getting really, really sick and had neurological damage. And in an effort to try to figure out how to get her healthy, because we were in and out of doctor's offices, and they knew something was wrong with her, they didn't know what was wrong with her. I was very blessed, and isn't that how it works with women, right? But I was very blessed that a friend of mine who had healed herself from Crohn's disease said to me, you know what, I really think that you need to talk to this actually lactation consultant because my daughter was a baby, and I think she might be able to give you some input to help her get healthy. My background had nothing to do with nutrition. You know, I have a degree in Bachelor of Arts and Sciences, was working in youth ministry, you know, Chef Boyardee, Kraft macaroni and cheese. You know,
well, my background had nothing to do with gun violence.
No,
so
it didn't.
Something
it's
about being a mom.
Yeah,
and
God leads us, and if we answer, we go there, right?
That's right.
So, so I just entered a whole world that I didn't know anything about, and this lactation consultant suggested that I take a couple of basic supplements, nurse them into my daughter, and my mind was blown.
Wow.
And so that was really kind of the beginning of me going down a trajectory of, you know, learning about nutrition and these other things that we could do. And then along that course, since we're starting with a naturopathic practitioner, basically my daughter ended up being diagnosed on the autism spectrum. And I started to go to a bunch of conferences and just learning how to help other people. And I actually had a scientist at one of the conferences who said to me, you know what, you need to get some letters behind your name because you're already out there helping people. And we don't always need letters behind our name, but when you're talking about something like, you know, the autism spectrum and biomedical approaches and using really big and flashy words, you know, those letters mean something. And it
makes you more trustworthy, credible, I think.
Yeah. And I really, you know, I started to go backwards. You know, I knew I didn't want to go back and become a medical doctor. God bless them, but I didn't want to do the hospital rounds and the pharmaceuticals because that's not what helped my family.
Right.
And then I learned about the mission and the philosophy behind naturopathic medicine, which is centuries and centuries old. And I hope I can share, but the philosophy of naturopathic medicine is that if given the right things, he who created the body, which is God, can heal the body. And that completely aligned with everything I had seen happen with my children when I started to give their bodies what they needed to heal their immune systems. You know,
like natural. When you say that, like natural supplements from the earth.
Yeah, it started with nutritional supplementation and then changing diet, and then as I went back to school and learned about homeopathic medicine, which oh my gosh, a lot is being kept from us in this world, and you know, herbal medicine, but also, you know, I mean, in my office I do testing and labs, so it's not
tell
just
us So if someone comes to you and says, "Hey, I have what's really popular right now, the gluten issues and things like
well,
that."
actually, I see a lot of like anxiety disorder.
Okay. So talk about that.
Those kind of things and such. So basically, if somebody comes to me and they have those kind of things going on, and sadly, though I don't think it will surprise anybody, a lot of it is in our kids and our teenagers.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I can see like anxiety, depression, just being so very common. There's so much stress in the world, just so much going on in our lives. So someone could come to you and say, "Whew, I need some help. I need to calm down. I need to relax. Just feeling off balance."
Yeah.
What do you do for them?
well, it depends on the situation. If it, honestly, I mean, you called me and we just talked and we got some
Right.
supplements to Dre, and I honestly didn't expect the phenomenal results that we got, but praise be to God, we
Yes.
did, and I'm very grateful for that.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah, so it can be as basic as, let's get you going on some supplements, or let's actually schedule a consultation in my office. And when they schedule a consultation in my office, then we evaluate. I do some different testing in the office to kind of try to figure out what's going on, or we might use homeopathy, which is natural medicine. It's regulated by the Food and Drug Administration.
Right.
A lot of people
That's
don't realize
important.
that. And sometimes, we can just nail it, because with homeopathy, what we're trying to do is get to the root cause of what's going on, and then if we can get that and balance the body, there's no side effects. It's safe. We can use homeopathy with infants. We can use it with homeopathic medicine. If you go to a health food store and you ask about homeopathic medicine, they can be little pellets or they can be in liquids and such. But as a practitioner, a lot of the homeopathy that I'm using is higher potency
Okay.
homeopathy. But then we do a lot with supplements, and then sometimes we do neurotransmitter testing.
That's what I was talking about. Okay.
Yeah, which is actually urine testing that they do. It would be a kit that we would give them. They would do it from their home. They send it in themselves. We're really, really blessed in Indiana because Indiana, the great state of Indiana, believes that people have the right to take care of themselves. And basically, I can give you a kit and you send it in, and you have the right as a intelligent human being to order your own labs, which is really, really great.
Oh, I didn't know that about Indiana.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So they send it in, I get the results back, and then we can actually see, I don't want to go too technical, on air, but we can actually see what's going on in their body, instead of just assuming like, oh, they have low serotonin, or, a lot of times it's, dopamine or their fight or flight response is off. So we can go as basic as supplements, and diet with someone, or we can go all the way the direction of labs and such, and it really depends, on what's going on. Is it just a little bit of anxiety? Oh my gosh, I'm stressed because I have to cook a turkey at Thanksgiving. Or, did a mom lose a baby, and have a miscarriage, and they're really,
So what are some other things that you often see, or just some other issues that you work with in your office?
Right. Well, really, I want to clarify, as a naturopathic practitioner, what I'm helping to do is support the body so that the body can heal itself. So I do see a lot of special needs, a lot of kids in the special needs community where we're trying to support their body so that, a lot of those issues of just being able to focus and concentrate, whether it be on therapies like Dre, is an enormous, enormous stress beyond anything anyone can imagine took place in his body.
Right.
So we want him to be able to receive his therapies as most optimally as
Yes, he
possible. And so we want to make sure that we take stress off his body so that, he's not rigid during therapies or emotionally stressed because he can't communicate that stress.
Right.
Well, he's not alone because our kids on the autism spectrum, certainly if they're nonverbal, they're not communicating it very well, but even the verbal children,
Have a hard time.
right, are not just on the spectrum. I mean, kids who are being bullied, kids who are just stressed out because we live in such a stressed world, and
yes,
adults,
stressful times.
we're not communicating very well either,
Right.
and such. So, so a lot of special needs, a lot of stress. Right now, obviously, cold and flu season. We're basically trying to keep immune systems as healthy as possible so they don't get the flu. And if
Right.
they do get the flu, it's a 2-day flu, not a 2-week in the hospital pneumonia flu.
Okay.
So I love what I do because I get to work with everybody and I just get to
Right.
meet them where they're at.
You get to meet them where they're at, and I mean, I'm such a supporter, and we call it alternative
Yes.
care or treatment. I'm not sure how much I was prior to Dre because I worked in healthcare. But afterwards, and just seeing my son at such a low point and saying, you know, I will try whatever. So for Dre, we started off with the liver detox, the stress relief, MindWorks.
Yeah, magnesium.
Magnesium.
Because he's got stiffening in his legs.
Yeah, we started off with that and fish oil, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep. So we started off with all of those. With the MindWorks, I want to say once he really didn't start that until he got to the rehab. And I remember because
Well, actually, he had his trach in still then.
Right.
Because I actually gave you samples of that, and you were like,
Yeah.
and then he ended up being able to get his trach out.
He got his trach out. And after a few doses of the MindWorks, once he was in rehab, is when he took the 3 steps.
Oh, wow.
So it's when he took the 3 steps. Unfortunately, he had a severe sinus infection that caused him to have a really bad seizure afterwards. But I remember being so excited. I'm like, oh my God, he took 3 steps. He took 3 steps. So talk about MindWorks, because I'll tell you what, where Dre is, they believe in alternative medicine.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that is why they're like, when he runs out, they're like, hey, we need this, you know. And so he ran out of MindWorks the other day, and she was like, Dre needs his MindWorks back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we are a component of that, a supporter of that. So tell us about what is MindWorks.
Okay. Well, MindWorks is basically, it's a supplement made by Shackley. So we haven't really talked about Shackley, but
Oh, this is our segue to Shackley.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
Becky's
So now I have to
also-
go back to the beginning.
Yes, yes.
So when my daughter, she was, you know, just in distress, and I mean, she was an 8-month-old baby and crying every day, and she wasn't making her milestones and such, and we were referred to this lactation consultant. It was actually Shackley that we were introduced to. It's an all-natural nutrition and wellness company that's been around for over 100 years. They were created by a doctor. So MindWorks is a Shackley product, and it is labeled for adults. And what it does is it helps to move oxygen to different parts of the brain, and targets brain cognition. So one of the beautiful things about Shackley as a company is that supplement companies are not allowed to make disease claims. And so you can figure out what conditions might be associated with oxygen not moving to the brain and cognition. But, you know, the company doesn't make disease
Can't
claims.
say
I
that.
don't make disease claims. And
You
such.
can't say, oh, well, this helps stroke victims.
Right.
Or
Right.
TBI
Although,
victims.
right. Although we have a lot of families who have family members with things like Alzheimer's and dementia and such that use the product. I often get asked about using it, like with kids with ADHD. I have other stuff for that.
Right.
So, you know, MindWorks is a big gun. When
It
we
is.
pull out MindWorks, we're pulling out the big guns. And so
Yeah.
with children, the
And
awesome
that's
thing,
what I needed.
their brains are so permeable
Mm-hmm.
that I mean, fish oil for traumatic brain injury, go look it up. Traumatic brain injury and fish oil, you'll be blown away.
Yeah.
A lot of garbage on the market though that has mercury
Right.
and such in it. And so for us, our family was introduced to Shackley. I actually took it and nursed it into my daughter. Woohoo! Buy one, get one free. You know, that was a really awesome deal for me. And I didn't want to watch my husband roll his eyes, so
Right.
I buy it anyways. And I never intended to start a business with it.
Uh-huh.
But what a lot of people are surprised to find out, our Shackley business funds my ability to be a naturopathic practitioner because I like to pour myself into my clients. I mean, I spend an hour and a half in an initial consultation. I have 6 children. I'm not going to work the number of hours that would be necessary to make that into a full-time income. But because we were introduced to Shackley, because it made such a profound difference in our family, we brought my husband out of the engineering world, working full-time at home, and now the Shackley income and the fact that we have a team across the country, internationally, Canada and such, enables us to just reach thousands and thousands of people, whereas I can't do that. And I just want to say, I feel so blessed and honored every time I talk to you, and I know, you know, you're thankful to us, but
Very much so.
but what you have been able to do with the pain that was dealt your family
Mm-hmm.
in this community, to me, I feel like it's such a blessing for me to get to align with people like yourself, and I genuinely mean that. So for me to even
I
be
know
here
you
today
do.
is
I
a
just
really
love
beautiful
her.
thing to me.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it because, you know, what it shows is your business.
cry.
I know. I'm trying not to. I usually cry every week for some reason or another. But what it shows is you're selfless. and it's beyond selling the product. Like, Becky gets to the heart of her clients. I don't know how many clients that you interact like this with me, but how you are with me, but it's beyond that. Like, you will call and say, well, how's Dre doing? And then, I mean, Becky has 6 kids, and several of them have things going on.
Right, and then you reach out.
Yeah, and then
I
reach out.
We have a personal relationship.
Yeah, we have a personal relationship, so it's like, hey, I need to reorder, but how are the kids, like, what's going on? Genuinely, I know I was having a rough day yesterday, and Becky was actually the first person that I had text when I was having the rough moment yesterday. So it shows that it's just beyond the product. It's beyond that. It really creates things. But I like how you said what you do within your company allows you to have that time to be at home with your kids, nurturing their needs, and being with your family. That's so important. I mean, for both parents, but just being a mom and being readily available for Dre's needs and things like that.
Right.
So talk a little bit. We have a few minutes left. Before we get into that, with our last few minutes, we have some stress relief, right?
We do. It's holiday season.
Yeah, it's holiday season. We're trying to shop, the hustle and bustle, make ends meet. How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? So I asked Becky if she could do a giveaway on the show today. I personally use the stress relief. Dre is on the stress relief. I told some people at Darius School about the stress relief. They immediately went to go Google it, are very interested in purchasing that. So if you're under some stress and you just want to exhale and relax and try something that won't have all kind of crazy effects on your body.
Yeah, so basically, stress relief complex, the key ingredient in it is ashwagandha root. But I'll have a lot of clients going, can't I just go buy ashwagandha? It's a combination product, so there's amino acids and such. This product is amazing. On a personal testimony standpoint, I can tell you that I had very, very, very severe, couldn't get off the couch, postpartum depression. And then when I got pregnant with my 4th child, I was very, very nervous. Quite honestly, if we hadn't been introduced to Shackley, I probably would not have continued to have children because I was a wreck, to be honest.
And it does that to you sometimes.
Yeah, so this, I took it every night before I went to bed. I didn't even have baby blues with my 4th, 5th, or 6th child, and it made such a huge difference. But I have kids, so talk about the purpose for your passion. I have kids with a lot of health issues. I have a 17-year-old who's in a wheelchair, so we relate on that. Our kids are going to walk together.
They are.
Again,
I like that. Give me a high five.
Yes.
Our kids are going to walk together.
But
yes.
I mean, we use this product with our children. I use it. My husband uses it. We don't run out of this product. We stockpile this in my house, and the biggest problem we have is that people show up at my door to pick it up, and then we go, we're running out, we can't run out, we gotta order more. So I'm giving away a bottle of stress complex today.
If you are in need of it's called stress relief complex, please call me. I'm gonna give it away to caller number 1, 317-414-6997. First caller. The stress relief will be yours, and then we would like to hear your testimony back on how it affected you.
Right. Yeah, can I give them, since only one person can order it, can I give them the website where they can actually order it?
Oh, please.
If they're like, please, just
I
need it right now.
If you just want to order this or some of the other things, because I want to say something about the MindWorks. Did I say right?
MindWorks, yeah.
With Dre's cognitive ability, and his alertness and things like that, and some of the other heavy meds that he's on, since I have been faithful with him making sure he has that, he stays awake all day. It used to be like this in the wheelchair. We can't get him to stay up during therapy. Now, therapy sessions do wear him out. He has 2 a day most of the time. But other than that, like Dre, they keep him up all day long.
Wow.
And with the MindWorks, and that's why his nurse is like, we need some more. When I went to visit him last week, that's what she was telling me. So we're out now. Yeah. So now we got the liver detox going with him now, which is I'm not gonna say more important, but with his numbers, I want him to be on the liver detox. But anyway, what I'm saying is it has opened Dre's brain, like it's helping open it up with what it does for the oxygen and getting that moving through the body and stuff. So yes, if you are interested in ordering any products.
Right. So the website, it's really easy. It's Becky, BECKY, .myshackley, SHAKLEE.com. Becky.myshackley, beckykcash.com and just put that into the search box and you'll be at our site. And our phone number is on there and you're always welcome to call. My husband and I are always willing to help other people, figure out what they need. And so with that being it,
Go ahead.
with the holiday season coming up, I should mention, because you asked about other things that I work with, detox is really big on people's minds, at least it will be on Friday after Thanksgiving.
Right.
And that's 24 days between Thanksgiving and Christmas to get yourself back on track again, or you can take a little bit of a break, or Hanukkah, all the other holidays that are coming up and such, because we do have Jewish family, and there are other holidays that come in there. And then weight loss is huge. I also, I just got back from the International Lyme Disease Conference, over 800 practitioners at the International Lyme Disease Conference. So I support a lot of clients with Lyme disease who either come in with the diagnosis or we run the blood work to get those.
Did you speak?
Such.
You spoke at that conference,
No,
right?
oh
you didn't
gosh,
speak
no, I'm like that at that conference. No, I got to hear from the international.
Oh, okay, because you
gurus,
did speak
but-
somewhere in the few this year, within this year, I think.
Yes, I've spoken at some.
Okay,
Some
okay.
other things, but no.
She doesn't like to market herself as a speaker.
Well, I'm just not. Lyme disease, the CDC says over 300,000 Americans are contracting it a year. It's a really, really big deal. So for me, it was just even an honor because naturopathic practitioners have not been really respected for very long, and so that this organization. I shouldn't say allows, we should be allowed to go, but that they respect that alternative medicine plays a huge role in so many different health issues is huge. We need to be able to merge the two.
Okay,
So-
if someone wants to do a consultation at your naturopathic office, how will they get in touch with you for that?
Okay, so they can email me at info at, I'm sorry,
That's okay.
sorry, I've been email or website,
Right.
info at beckykcash.com. It's BECKYCASH.com is the email address, and then also the website is www.beckykcash.com. So they can also go to the website to find out more about me. And so that's if they actually want to do a consultation. And then if they just want to figure out what supplements, like for you, I mean, we didn't do a formal consultation. We knew what was going on.
Right.
We just got them started on some supplements.
Right,
So.
right. Okay, so as we're wrapping up the show today, I always like to wrap up with this. Actually, I have two things because of the season we're in. Have you found purpose for your pain with going through what you went through with your children, being introduced to this whole other realm of healing?
Right. Yeah, I absolutely have. I'm a big believer that God has us here for a purpose, and so in my effort to, my 17-year-old has Lyme disease and suffered a medical injury. I have kids with health issues. I went out on a path to figure out how to help my children and figured if I have the knowledge, I'm going to share it with others, which is basically, you went out trying to figure out and continue to work to figure out how to help Dre, and in that said, but there's other people hurting too, and so I feel like it's exactly the same thing. We're here on this earth, in the United States of America for a purpose, and we have the freedom and the ability to help so many other people, and why would we just keep it inside of ourselves?
That's awesome. And who better to be your champion than your mom? Who better to have your back, researching? I mean, there could be no better person for my son than me.
Right.
To be on the battlefield for him. And I remember when they said, well, he'll never do anything again, and I said, okay, that's fine. I'll be his voice until it comes back.
Right.
I talk and walk by faith, so I will be his voice until he comes back. Just as you are doing for your kids and being their arms, their legs, until God says otherwise.
Well, and they've already done that for you because they didn't believe he'd be alive. They didn't believe he'd be breathing, and now he's taking steps and feeding himself.
Exactly, and you guys saw the videos.
What a triumph.
So what a triumph. So what better person to have in your corner? I feel that way about my mom. What better person to have my back?
I know our kids should be out shopping for us right now.
They really should. Darius, if you're watching, one last question as we wrap up, and I'm going to answer it too. What are you thankful for this holiday season?
I think I'm thankful that, I'm thankful for so much, and I think I'm just trying to put it into words.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm really thankful for? I'm thankful for my husband, because quite honestly, he could be holding me back and saying, no, you need to be home with the kids. Every time I ask him, should I really go to this conference? Should I really do this? He says, yes, go out and figure out how to help our kids and help somebody else, because maybe they have the next answer.
Wow.
So I'm really, really thankful for him.
Well, that's just so amazing. And me and Becky talk about this. She's helping me find that kind of backbone like Chris. So we talk about this often.
That's what she tells me.
That is so important though, to have that support. I do a lot. And some nights I'm like, oh my God, I wish I just, but we'll use that for another show. But I'm glad that you pay homage
And I'll
to
be
your
your
husband.
support until then. And
Yes.
I do have an, your
I do. I do have an
Your
amazing,
family's
but I'm
amazing.
sure there's nothing like that. But what I am most thankful for this Thanksgiving season, and me and my family, we do this on Thanksgiving too. But like you said, it's so much. It's so much. I think it would be an understatement to say I'm thankful for Dre still being here. That's kind of a given. But when I seriously step back and look at everything, I am thankful for peace and a sound mind. And you too, when you're faced with looking at your child disabled, and yes, we're their voice, and yes, we advocate for them, but I can't physically touch him and he's healed. Like, I mean, miracles do happen. I'm not taking away from that. But sometimes I feel restrained from not being able to see Dre walk. And I was just telling my mom last night, I still can't believe this happened. Like, all our friends are getting ready to drive. And I mean, this is things we planned for. So what I'm thankful for is even in the midst of a storm and in a tough time, that I have peace. I do have my sad days. I have rough moments, but who wouldn't? But I'm so thankful to just have a peace of mind and wake up in the morning and still thank God in spite of, and still have a desire to find purpose in the midst of my pain. So
I sing a lot of praise and worship songs these days.
Yes. So I am over my time. So thank you all very much for tuning in to Positively You, shining light into dark places. Next week we will be taking a break due to the holiday, but we will be right back on December 3rd. I have some really great shows coming up in December, so stay tuned. And if you would like the stress relief, 317-414-6997, or hit me up on Facebook and I will get the product to you ASAP. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy your holiday with your family, no food fights, and we will see you back on December the 3rd at 10 a.m.